The latest pDai voice chat was packed with interesting discussions. Could pDai be intentionally kept cheap before a future peg? Is the Clarity Act really necessary? Could we soon see a Fiat on-ramp for pDai? And what can Richard Hart's own words tell us about the bigger picture? Let's break down the biggest points from the latest pDai voice chat. The first topic was a very interesting technical thought experiment. A community member asked whether collateral could theoretically be bridged from Ethereum directly into a private PulseChain Layer 2 without touching PulseChain Layer 1 publicly. The idea behind this would be simple. If a private Layer 2 existed, someone could potentially load collateral without the market seeing it and without creating front-running opportunities. However, nobody in the voice chat had a confirmed answer. The discussion was more about exploring what might be technically possible. The next big topic was pDai distribution. Osprey discussed how previous fear events caused certain wallet groups to sell their pDai, while new buyers entered the market. But recently, the opposite trend appears to be happening. Several wallet cohorts have been accumulating more pDai, and some holders have moved into larger categories. At the same time, the community warned that this data can be difficult to interpret. Some wallets may be connected, or funds could simply be moved between addresses. This concept was described as shuffling the deck. But if this wallet movement eventually slows down, some believe it could indicate that the accumulation phase is nearing completion. Next came one of the most controversial theories. Is pDai being deliberately kept cheap? The argument is that if pioneers or large players want to accumulate as much supply as possible before a future peg, keeping the price low would be the most logical strategy. Osprey agreed that this way of thinking makes strategic sense. However, it is important to say that this remains speculation. There is no proof that anyone is intentionally suppressing the price. Another very interesting update involved a possible Fiat on-ramp. Osprey received a message from someone claiming to represent RampNow. According to that message, pDai was under testing for integration. This could potentially allow users to buy pDai using Apple Pay, Google Pay, SEPA transfers, bank transfers, and other local payment methods. But the community made one thing very clear. Verification comes first. Nothing should be promoted until everything has been independently confirmed. The next discussion focused on the Clarity Act and the timeline surrounding it. Some people in the community expected July to be an important month. However, Osprey explained that the delay may be related to political processes and senators needing to change their position. He also mentioned that some expectations around July may have become mixed with Liberty Swap-related timelines. His personal view was that August or September might be a more realistic timeframe. But again, July was not completely ruled out. The conversation then moved into a deeper legal discussion. Besides the question of whether stablecoins can offer yield, what parts of the Clarity Act actually matter for pDai? The community discussed topics like DeFi safe harbors, AML and CTF requirements, and the difference between decentralized protocols and companies pretending to be decentralized. One of the key ideas was that PulseChain is not a company. It is code running on the internet. The community is not the issuer of the chain. And this distinction could become extremely important under future regulation. This led to another interesting point. Liberty Swap has suggested that the Clarity Act may not even be necessary. This was surprising because many people previously considered post-clarity to be a major milestone for pDai. The community did not simply accept this claim. The position was that Liberty Swap and people like 99 may be correct, but evidence and reasoning are still required. Next, the discussion moved to Maria and Atropa. The community debated whether Maria is aligned with Richard Hart, opposed to pDai, or whether the answer is still unclear. Some arguments suggested alignment, including previous comments about Richard Hart, the timing of certain events, and large pDai and PUSDC purchases after the exploit mint event. Others argued that Maria has not shown his full hand yet, and it would be wrong to make a final judgment. The overall conclusion was that the situation remains unclear and highly speculative. The next major question was the one many people care about most. How much collateral is actually needed for pDai to reach $1? The answer may be much less than many people expect. According to the Hyperloop theory, arbitrage and interconnected systems may play a major role in maintaining the peg. This means the system might not require a simple one-to-one collateral backing. However, there was no exact agreement on how much collateral would actually be needed. The community also looked at Richard Hart's previous comments about pDai. One interesting observation was his choice of words. Instead of making direct statements, he often used questions. For example, "Stop buying pDai?" Some community members believe this is meaningful because Richard Hart is usually very precise with his wording. They also discussed the pDai supply expansion. If pDai were simply a hyperinflation scam, some questioned why the supply expansion stopped where it did instead of continuing endlessly. Of course, this is not proof, but it is another piece of the puzzle that people continue to analyze. The Clarity Act came up once again from a different perspective. Even if it is not technically required for pDai to succeed, many believe it could still be a massive event. Why? Because it could bring institutional liquidity into crypto, but also because it could create a clear legal separation between centralized projects and truly decentralized DeFi protocols. Some people believe this could highlight PulseChain's unique position. Finally, the conversation became more philosophical. The group discussed Richard Hart not only as a founder, but as someone whose ideas around DeFi, privacy, eliminating middlemen, and financial freedom may become more appreciated over time. The argument was that because Richard already achieved financial success, his motivation may come more from building and giving rather than extracting value. Overall, this voice chat showed one thing. There are still many unanswered questions around pDai. Many of the bullish arguments remain theories rather than confirmed facts, but the community continues to analyze every detail, from hidden collateral theories, to accumulation, to regulation, to Hyperloop mechanics, and Richard Hart's own comments. The next months could be very interesting. What do you think? Are these pieces slowly forming a bigger picture? Or is the community connecting dots that are not really there? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel and give a thumbs up for the algorithm.